Haya, and welcome back to your favorite webisodes, Let's Talk. So with that being said, let's talk. Question, because I feel like Let's Talk people actually want to know this.
They want to know this.
I think they want to know this. You can put your books down. You can throw them away. Throw them away. We're done with that game. That was just because I mean, you're in front of the camera and things. Oh, because I think Let's Talk really wants to know this, because they've seen you guys individually, and I think, well, we talked about nurturing and we talked about singleness. Actually, yeah. Honestly, we're gonna have them come on by themselves and talk about marriage for y'all marriage folk out there. But I think Let's Talk wants to know, as parents together, how was it raising a kid like me?
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay. Well, raising a kid like let me start from the beginning. From I got pregnant with her, God told me in a vision that she was going to be a special child, and told me that she was a girl. And then he also showed me her on platforms, and showed me how he was going to use her. So I already know that she was going to be something special for the kingdom. So knowing that, having that foreknow, I think I prepared myself to nurture her. And being her mom, I was very careful of where she go, or very careful of what her surroundings was, because I didn't want nothing to contaminate the God that I was trying to put in her. I'm speaking as the mom. And I did it the best way I knew how to, which was to show her how to love God. And in order for me to do that, to show her that, I had to first be the example for her. And that's why coming from school and in the house, I mean, Dad played his part on what he did with taking away stuff, but my thing was to get God in her. And that came through prayer. We fasted, which was initiated from Dad, which I carry out because we love God and we want our kids to be what God called them to be. And I was very serious about my daughter, the call that's on her life. And I was very protective of that. So by me preparing her through prayer, like when they come home on Saturdays, they have their whole time in school, but Saturday, that was their prayer time. And I make sure that they get in that prayer room and they begin to call on God until they get to a place where they can find God for themselves. And also the morning prayers. We make sure we did morning prayers with them every morning. And then, so my part as being a mom was to make sure I put the fear of God in her. To telling her, Maya, you can't do certain things. Don't mind the other girls or the other children. You are different. God didn't told me He called you to be different. It's the gift that's in you. It has to be developed. But you can't have the same mindset as other little girls. I know you might want to do certain things, but because of what's on your life, you cannot, you have to be very careful. And if I see her friends that she might pick up or whatever, and I feel like, okay, no, this is not the friend for you. Any bad influence that will come to her, pull her out of her, what we was teaching her, we didn't allow that around her. So I think raising her to be who she is now today, we had some battles because we had to deal with family, but because we knew what was on her life, it wasn't hard to do it. And we couldn't do it without her applying and being obedient. She was always an obedient child. Just I can always say that she was never a child that would talk back and, oh, mommy this and oh, whatever I tell her to do, she did it. I never heard her grumble. Even though if she didn't like it, she might have said it under her breath, but I never heard her grumble or give me a
Regrets.
huh?
Regrets.
Or, you know, I never heard her talk back to me in a way to say, girl, I'll slap you out, or I never had to talk to her like that. She was always an obedient child, and I thank God for that. So she didn't make our job hard. So I believe by us putting the fear of God in her, she see how much we love God, because it starts from the parent. You know, and see how much we was dedicated and faithful to God. So I think that make it easy for us to raise her to what she is now, that she can do her own thing and we don't have to worry. And I can tell you, I don't have to worry about her much, you know, about when it comes to her relationship with God. Now if I'm around her and I see, like, okay, Ma, you need to do more of this or whatever, but not to say, well, oh, I wonder where my daughter at. What's she gonna know? And I praise God for the daughter that He blessed us
What?
You got.
You know, I mean, for me it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard for me because when you start talking about being the head of the home and leading out, you take the blows. And so putting principle and standard in her, and not just her, all of the kids, because what was good for one was good for all. And I think the standard didn't just hold for our own home. The standard held for whoever came in the home, right? Even yes, if you spend the night, you was gonna go by the standard. You understand? You was visiting, you was going by the standard. Whatever standard she had, the other person had to have the same standard. Didn't matter how old they were. There was just a standard. And so it was hard in my sense because you're not going to be liked a lot. You have a lot of people kicking against you, and people disagreeing with you. Even persons in the home don't agree at some times. You see. But understanding what God had already foreordained and understood where I came from, understanding what was in me, because they my seeds, in order to keep those negative things and generational curses and those desires and wants that I once had when I was in the world from manifesting, there were some things we had to do. Yes. And there were some sacrifices we had to make. There were some calls and decisions that I had to make without worrying about who liked it or not. Because the ultimate goal was the end game. What's the end game going to be? So it wasn't about a short gratification on what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day. No, it was for the future. I started saying a quote later on that I got from my pastor. I can wait till you love me. And I didn't have that thought, but that's how I lived. I don't worry about you liking me. You're gonna love me later, because you're gonna appreciate what I put in you. And so the whole thing was, even for her, for all the kids, I'm gonna teach you and give you the principles and give you the prescription that you need. And when you go old, you'll hear my voice. So train the child in the way that they should go. When they grow old, they will not depart. Why? Because you done trained them. And when they go off, they'll hear the trainer. You know, and they'll hear the commands coming. That's the same when you train dogs. Dogs go off, when they hear the commands, they straighten up. And so even as parents, we can't be worried about how people think about our future, because they're our future. You see? Because when you grow old, the Bible says that you're gonna need somebody to lead you. So how you raising up retarded people to lead you? And I mean in physical, but I mean mental and spiritual. Not a natural condition that came on them, but a condition that they inhabited because they decided that they were going to do what they wanted to do, and the parents decided they were going to let the standard go and worry about what other people thought. And so it was hard for me because number one, she's a girl, and I didn't want no girls because I didn't want to feel like hurt nobody's son. I'll tell you the truth. And I will hurt somebody. Can I say that on the thing?
You can.
Somebody's son will be prayed for. Yeah. So that was my big thing. Worrying about her being other things that she didn't need to be. And so being hard and strong, loving at the same time, of course. It was hard for me because, again, people did not approve of everything you do. So you have to stand your ground there regardless of how people feel. Why? Because you know it ain't your hands.
And then I just want to say, one time when me and her, we went out to the wash house, and this would really do it for me. We went out to the wash house, and as we doing what we do, me and her, we coming back in the wash house, and there was this lady standing up to the door, and she was just smoking a cigarette. And all of a sudden, the child just walked away from me and said, "Hey, you lady, you need to stop smoking that cigarette." And she said, so the lady just looked at her and she said, "The blood of Jesus against you. The blood of Jesus against you." So when I said, "Maya, come on, Maya." So then the lady said, "Who child is this? Come get this child." And I said, "Jesus, let me get my child." Because, and all that shows me what was in her. And I think she was only like maybe seven, around that age. And when as a parent, when you recognize the call of God on your children, you have to take it serious. Because I believe if me and her dad didn't take it serious what we saw, and we didn't grab it and knew, I don't think she would have been what she is now. And we have to take the call on our children's life serious, and knowing that God called us to train them. And so that was one thing that always stuck with me, and everywhere I go I would share that testimony, because at that point I saw the spirit of boldness in her. And I was like, wow, this girl really gonna be something for God. But and today we look back, I know she's still young and she haven't touched the surface of what God has in store for her. But even at this age, we are proud of her, because we see that, whatever God said, we see it coming to pass. And I just wanted to take that.
Man in shoes, y'all trying to make me cry on this little YouTube channel today. No, honestly, I know you guys wanted to hear that, because I think it's good, because we see kids or we see people in a certain position, and we don't see the backstory of how they got there. I am the way I am because of these two people. And the same things that they're telling you is exactly what they did, and I appreciate it. Oh, I thank God for that. I thank God for it. I thank God for it all the time, because when I was young, I didn't understand. I did not understand, why they were the way they were. I didn't understand why every Saturday we had to pray. I didn't understand why 6 o'clock in the morning, when I should be sleeping, we getting up to do family prayer. I didn't understand why he would make us take notes in church, of our pastor preaching, and then come home and re-preach the notes. I didn't understand those things. We did. I didn't understand those things then. But it's those things that build me to be the person that I am. And people laugh at me because they're like, "You're so strange. You're so strange. You're just strange. You ain't typical. You're not normal." But it's because how I was raised, and because I have a strong foundation, even when time does get tough, even when it could be discouraging, I always have their voices in my head. Literally, like I'll be about to do something, and then one of their voices pop up, and I'm just like, okay, I ain't gonna do that no more. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. And I am where I am because of it. And some people don't like it. Honestly, some people don't like it. They're not too enthused. They're not too enthused that I pray like my mama. They ain't enthused about that. They're not enthused that I have characteristics or I act like my daddy. They don't like that. But it's because of them and what they instilled in me. I am the way that I am, and I'm able to walk into purpose what God has called for me. So I appreciate them. I do. I'm like
Yeah.
this because I'm not trying to cry on YouTube today.
And then you know what? No, because
She's been on here a long
That's
time. You
what
gotta
it is,
excuse her.
yeah.
You gotta excuse me. She's been on a long time.
I'm just kidding because, you know, she asked, you know, if it was easy. And another point that I remember when she lost all of her hair.
Oh.
You know, and it's like,
y'all, I went bald when I was, how old was I?
I think 8.
8. Yeah, I lost all
Something
my
like
hair
that.
when I was 8. Yeah.
And it's like dealing with that situation was really tough. Not that I think that's the
Wow,
tough.
I gotta find a
I
picture.
think that's the tough part I felt because I'm like, okay, this
Wore
is
a wig.
Y'all
Yes,
wore
I
wig.
had
I
to
wore wig
make-
for a whole year.
I had to make wig for her, and it's like she go to school, the kids will pull it off, and she come home telling me crying, "Oh, mommy, somebody pulled my hair off today," and I was like, "Oh my God, my poor baby." And it's like, okay, you know, this is for a reason, and it's
Oh,
like,
Jesus, I'm about to cry for
you
you.
know, and this was like,
Woo!
you know, and I'm like, I actually prayed, and I said, God, let her hair grow back, Lord, and I see her hair growing. And I was like, oh my God. Not till I think I remember telling Amaya, this hair is so precious, you know, because what you went through at that stage. And I think all this was building her as it was building me and her dad, because I don't know what he was thinking. But at that point, I was like, God, you're doing something with her, because what happened? Why all her hair just fall off? And it's like, you know, the first thing probably come to your mind, which and it didn't come to my mind of no sickness or anything, but I was just saying, God doing something with this child, you know, because I already seen from younger in her 6 and 7, how the boldness that was in her, and I'm like, you know, this is just a stepping stone for her. And I have to say that because that was a hard time in my
It
life
was.
with her, because I was like, why the children so mean? You know, why they have to be so mean? I mean, kids really get mean, I think.
You know, I think this, and I think today in time we're a little bit too sensitive.
Yeah.
Even with this bullying thing, we have to be careful how we allow, especially as believers, society to label things, especially dealing with the media, because what we do is we make the children more sensitive than what they need to be. When we grew up, you know, it was nothing for us to be tossed around. Like, gonna make you tough. It was about making us tough. And so even though sometimes we thought that was strange, but now I thank God for it, because the ridicule and the picking on and people fighting you and jumping you, we didn't take it that way. It was a part of life. We grew, we dealt with it, and we went past it. And so it allowed us to be more mentally tough. You see? And so I think that was my whole thing during that ordeal when she was bald head. I mean, sometimes you would see patches of hair here, and she had the wig on. Kids were picking on, and I had to go to school. And so what I thought was, let me develop a mindset.
Yeah.
See? And I develop your mindset that this don't bother you. This is not who you are. This is just a cycle, because you may be bald head, but they may be eating cheese for dinner and crackers. You see? They may have holy shoes on. It's always something going wrong. And so I believe the perspective, it always plays a part. And especially when you're coming up, when you're young people, even now, look how old you are. You have to really put things in perspective, because if you don't, you'll cause yourself to go crazy over things that are very small and minute. So what they picked on you, so what they called you names. Who are you? Are you what they say, or who God calls you to be? And we got to keep that in our mind. And even at the same time, they may not be picking on you. They might just trying to push you because they need to go further.
Yeah, true.
See, you may be an inspiration for them and don't know it, and because you're so strong at that point, they may not know how to attach to you. They just may want to be friends with you. And when I look over my past, matter of fact, some of the persons who picked that will wind up being our best friends.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Because how strong she was. And so in the ordeal, man, it's all about being strong. Being strong, and I thank God that's what makes it tough. It made it tough for us because we had to make sure she was strong. do our best to make sure she's strong. And so parents, you got to do the same thing.
Yes.
Even young people, you have to do the same with your mind. Stay strong, man. You don't allow people to make you sensitive to small issues.
True.
Because you're not these small issues. Because these small issues are going to go away and they're going to come. And they're going to go away and they come. And the same people that dealt with you are going to be dealing with the same small issues and things. The Bible said, think it not straight. The fiery darts. You see? So it was hard. But perspective was always key.
And I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I look at it now, and I'm like, dang, raising me probably wasn't really hard, because as a kid I didn't go through normal things. I just didn't. But even with that situation, them billing me, because it's hard, especially when you're like 8 and all your hair is falling out and you have no idea why, and now you have to wear these wigs, you know, and you have people are picking on you, people are pulling it off, and every day, almost every day, I used to come home crying, and I was like, "Damn, hey, you're bigger than this. Hey, you're not this. You're not your hair. You're not what they say. You're what God say." Her telling me constantly, "You're beautiful with hair, without hair. It does not matter." And so parents, you have to constantly build your kids. Build. No matter how hard it is, because in building them, it makes them strong. Now I'm at the point what people say don't bother me. Honestly, what people say don't bother me, because I've been built like that. And so I thank you. I thank them. I love them.
Sometimes you gotta call your child. They get picked on. You call them the same thing they got. I used to call you little ball. He used
to call me little Chinese monk,
like
bruh.
Chinese monk. Y'all remember the kung fu movies with the little people with the little one piece of hair? That's what I used to call them.
He used to call me Chinese.
So I picked on it too.
Monk.
Because if you can stand your dad picking on you, what else can somebody else say in the world?
It don't matter what you
say. I'm billing you. You ain't this, but you my little Chinese monk. Come, let me kiss you on your little ball head. Yeah, man. It worked, didn't it? All right.
I laugh at it.
Shucks, man.
So I tell people all the time, my parents did a wonderful job. They did everyone just give a round of applause for them.
Yeah, we should.
They did a wonderful job, and when you look at the homes that they come from, honestly, considering that they just gold stars for everyone, because they wasn't given much, but with that little they had, and with God, they made it more than enough. So I thank y'all. Oh, Daddy, sorry.
Yes, and don't let's forget our boys.
Oh, hi, brothers. Hi, siblings.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
We okay, bye.
What's up, Docs? Be yourself.
So,
Making kings.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's it.
All right. So I think. So let's just give a round of applause to my parents. Clap. For coming on, playing that game, and then actually dropping some wisdom, some knowledge, dropping the mic on us. Drop the mic on us. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like this video. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Turn on the post notifications. We're actually going to pause for all of you people. Hi, hello. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. Yeah. For you who are not subscribed. Yeah, you. Yeah, Sally, you. You see that red subscribe button? Y'all point to the button. Y'all point to the button. You see that? You see that right there? I'm going to need you to click that in Jesus' name. Click it. We just going to wait. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. Pause for you to do. Go ahead. You did it. Thank you. And for those who didn't do it, remember, obedience is better than sacrifice. So remember,
your flaws plus God equals flawless.
And go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Bye.